Well, something happened that I did not think I would ever see in my lifetime. Billy Carson, aka William T. Carlson, had a debate about Christianity with somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. He sat down with Wesley Huff. Just some of Wesley's credentials. He has a bachelor's in sociology from New York University, a master's of theological studies from Tyndale University, and is currently doing a PhD in New Testament at the University of Toronto's Wycliffe College. So kudos to you, Billy, for sitting down with somebody of this caliber. By the way, guys, if you're not following Wesley Huff's channel, I will leave the link in my description. I will tag him on social media, and you need to go follow him. He's got some really good stuff. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to take a look at a video where Wesley is discussing his interaction with Billy. And he's going to go on to explain why we most likely will never get to see this debate. And after we listen to what Wesley has to say, we'll play the commercial that I believe his name is Mark Minard put together. I truly am hoping we get to see this debate. Anyway, let's check it out.
I debated Billy Carson. You heard that right. This isn't clickbait. I actually debated Billy Carson. Let me tell you about it. So last week I got a message in my DMs from a podcast host saying he knew Billy and that Billy was going to be in his studio the next day and asked if I'd be willing to come in and discuss some of the things that Billy has said very publicly about Christianity. Now, this particular podcaster lives in Florida. I live in Toronto, Canada. So with less than 24 hours notice, I just wasn't able to be in studio.
So what I think we should do is set up a GoFundMe to get Wesley a private jet, along with a whole lot of extra money for jet fuel. So that way, if this opportunity ever arises again, he can just hop into his Billy Carson debate private jet and go down there and debate him in person. But just a thought.
Did say that I'd be more than willing to hop on a virtual call and interact with Billy that way. And for the record, I also made it clear that I didn't want this to come across as some sort of trap or gotcha. If Billy was willing to interact with me knowing who I was, that's great, but I said specifically that I did not want this to be some sort of ambush. I was assured that this was not the case. I was being invited, Billy was being notified of that, and that we would have a respectful and good faith discussion. And
kudos to Wesley for not wanting to sucker punch Billy Carson into a debate. I think that is very commendable.
As far as I'm concerned, that is in fact what took place. Now, we only talked for a little over an hour, and if I'm honest, I really wished we would have talked about more. Billy had to leave after that hour. He was upfront about that at the beginning, so he wasn't running away or anything. He actually had to go, and he had prefaced the conversation with that. There were about a dozen things that Billy has said very confidently on very public platforms about Christianity that are just simply false. And I wanted to push him on those things. Credible scrutiny only helps to refine and sharpen the truth. I want to be shown where I'm wrong and where I say things that are incorrect. And I think as long as it's done with proper intentions in the right way, doing that with others shows respect for them too. In my personal opinion, the conversation did not go well for Billy though. He really didn't have much of a rebuttal to what I said. And that didn't mean he didn't talk a lot. He did. But when I asked him about his sources, about their credibility, he just kind of shrugged his shoulders. When he said, as he's done on some of the world's biggest online platforms, that the Sinai Bible denies the crucifixion, and I pulled a literal facsimile of the Sinai Bible off my bookshelf and asked him why he would say that when I can clearly open up the Greek text in the Gospels, in the Sinai Bible, and find the crucifixion. His response was that he misspoke.
Wesley got the receipts. Wesley got the receipts.
Really meant to say the Gospel of Barnabas or the Gospel of Jesus' wife. When I walked through why the Gospel of Barnabas and the Gospel of Jesus' wife are known forgeries from the modern era, he didn't have any type of answer. Now, in the wake of the interview, Billy Carson has asked that the recording not be released. And in all honesty, I do get why. This is Billy's bread and butter. His career as a content creator and public figure, and his credibility as an online educator are influenced by the way he comes across and the integrity and reliability of the topics he discusses. If that is put under careful examination and its truthfulness is undermined, that has consequences for Billy. Now, I don't know if that recording will ever see the light of day. I hope it does, but I don't know. But let me say that I trust the podcast host whose channel this took place on, and it is entirely his decision to post or not to post the content. I respect that, even if I do in fact want the interaction to be public. It's his podcast on his channel, and he has the right to agree with Billy's request. The fact that Billy doesn't want it to be posted clearly communicates to me that he also didn't think it went very well. Let me just finish by saying this. Billy says a lot of out there stuff, but among it all are just patently false things about the Bible and Christianity. I've made a bunch of content addressing these things and what Billy has said, and in it all, I hope what those interactions and responses reflect is not a personal attack on Billy. I can separate Billy Carson from the ideas he espouses, and I think that should always be our tactic. I debated Billy Carson. As far as I'm aware, I'm the only person who ever has. Maybe I'm the only person who ever will. And whether that gets posted or not, I think the fact that Billy doesn't want it to be posted also tells you how well Billy thought the conversation went.
So what do you guys think about Wesley's assessment? I think that Wesley is spot on. Not only is he spot on with his arguments against Billy in some of the videos that I have seen Wesley do, but I think he's spot on in his assessment. This is Billy's bread and butter. Billy has painted himself as one of the most credible, most intelligent, knowledgeable people when it comes to ancient textual criticism and ancient tablets and ancient religion and ancient aliens. And he has painted himself in this way. And if this debate went how I think it went, and enough people see this debate, this could really hurt Billy's bottom line. Now, I will tell you from my own experience with some of Billy's followers, he has a real cult-like following. There's been many times where I have just straight up laid out the facts about what Billy is saying. And in my comment section, you'll see people saying that I'm not enlightened enough, or I'm nothing in comparison to the knowledge and wisdom that Billy has, yada, yada, yada. Real cult-like stuff in the comment section. And there's people who, no matter what you tell them, they're not going to change their minds. But Billy Carson is popular enough that enough people who hear about him, I think, are willing to hear other opinions than his and are willing to be wrong in their assessment and approval of Billy Carson. And if those people were to catch wind of this discussion between him and Wesley, it could spread. And I think that Billy is scared. He is afraid of this hurting his bottom line and his credibility. This, even if it doesn't topple the forbidden knowledge regime, so to speak, it will get enough people questioning, hey, if he's wrong about the things that they discussed in this debate, maybe he's wrong about other things as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'm going to pull up this commercial that Mark, I believe his name is Minard. I apologize if I said that wrong, but they created this little commercial for this.
Freaking took place with Billy Carson and Wesley Huff. Yeah. Okay, go on. Right, we can do a follow-up.
I really appreciate it, Billy. Thanks so much for interacting.
2 weeks ago, my good man Billy Carson sat right here next to me in person, and we pulled online from Canada Wesley Huff, and we had a healthy conversation and debate about some of our different beliefs.
You actually believe that the majority of Christians really believe that God is not masculine, that God is has both aspects?
It's irrelevant what the majority of Christians believe. What historical biblical Christianity articulates is what they should believe.
I had a follow-up from him immediately after the show, basically asking me not to air the show. I said, who's someone that could be able to have a good debate and has knowledge about all the stuff that Billy has knowledge of. And both pointed to this guy, Wesley.
So I'm staking my entire life on the person of Jesus. And where do I find the information about Jesus? I find that in the Bible. And if I can't trust the Bible, I really have no reason to put my hope and trust in Jesus.
And I also said someone that is polite, respectful. Yes, we're going to be honest. Yes, there might be some healthy conflict, but in a respectful way.
Oh man, Billy, release the podcast. Give the thumbs up, give the approval, release the podcast, release the debate. If you're seeing this on my social media, tag Billy below and just maybe say you scared with a question mark or something. I don't know. Just tag him below and let's get this debate out there. Let's put the pressure on Billy to release this debate. So comment below, tag him on Wesley's stuff, follow Mark, follow Wesley, and let's just put the pressure on Billy to give the okay to release this podcast. That being said, if you guys want to see the video where I go through his space agency and kind of pick it apart, click right here. And if you want to see the video that I did with Michael Jones, Inspiring Philosophy, on his channel, click right here. And like, share, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. I will see you on the next one. Oh, and if you are watching this on social media, you're not going to be able to click where I just told you. God bless. See you later.